You ever see someone walk into a country thinking they are about to be worshipped, but instead they are facing 5 years in prison? Yeah. So apparently, this white woman traveled to Brazil thinking she would be treated like royalty, like she would be automatically be above everyone else, but instead, she's now facing up to 5 years in racist remarks under Brazilian law. Wow, that's much. And here's the thing, this isn't 1950. The world is different now. Countries like Brazil don't play about racism. You don't just land somewhere and assume superiority anymore. And also, I've been away for a week now over my health issues. I need some time to reset. That's why I've not been creating videos. But coming back and seeing stories like this, it really reminds you how disconnected some people still are from reality. Travel is supposed to humble you, not expose you. 5 years is a long time to learn that lesson.
I was today years old when I learned that it is illegal to be racist in Brazil. Like this woman right here, she's Argentinian and she went to Brazil and basically started making monkey noises at the restaurant staff and they reported her and now she's looking at up to 5 years in prison. I bet she thought shit was sweet. Shit was just so funny. She was sitting there making the monkey noises. Then she walked away like everything was fine. They revoked her passport and gave her an ankle monitor.
If you go to Brazil and think you're going to play the racist card, you will definitely get your ass locked up. So Agostina Paes might be doing some hard time in prison for calling somebody a monkey in Brazil. So this woman from Argentina goes on vacation in Brazil. She gets into a dispute in a restaurant over her bill. And her being upset over the billing situation led her to start calling this person out of their name. She called them a monkey. She also used the N-word. Now the video is going around where you can see her making monkey gestures. I'm not going to put that video here. But if you go in that search bar, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't think she knew that if you do shit like that in Brazil, Brazil is not playing that. Mind you, I didn't know that, to be honest with you. But Brazil is strict on those type of things. They don't play the racism thing. And for that, she got locked up. And for that, she might have to do 5 years in prison. She made it her business to hurt every last one of those employees' feelings by saying those racial slurs. And what did they do? They reported her. Mind you, she's putting out videos defending what happened in Brazil, saying that what she said was the right thing to do. That wasn't right. And Brazil is about to show her that wasn't right. Again, I didn't know Brazil got down like that, but kudos to Brazil. Like I said, she might have to do a lot of time after this. They're definitely about to make an example out of her. I'm out.
Brazil does not play about racism. I'm just seeing this story about Augustina.
Brazil is viral right now, finally, because it's a wonderful place. Very popular because of Carnival. But before you visit, you really should know this. It is a crime to be racist there. It's also a crime to be homophobic and transphobic. It's very much not freedom of speech. They don't play about this there. It's jail, no bail. They're also passing a law against feminicide, meaning that if a man kills a woman, he spends life in prison, no parole. No getting out early, no good behavior, no making deals. That's not a thing, non-negotiable, life in prison. I love that for them. The other thing is last week, they also passed some pretty strict laws against animal abuse. And I love it for them because, the place is fun, the good food, the people are wonderful, and the laws actually work. Look at that. You don't get to use your freedom of speech to just be an asshole. I think some countries should write it down. And anytime I tell people about this, people are always so shocked. Like, how dare they? Like, what about my freedom of speech? You don't get freedom of speech here either, babes. You don't get it. You don't have it. Like, do you see the president going after people for saying they don't like him?
This video is for all my Black Americans fellows. Do you guys know that in Brazil, people don't play about racism? Do you know that Brazil is has the largest Black population in South America? Did you know that being racist in Brazil is considered a crime and that you can actually go to jail for it? Exactly. That's how it should be everywhere. Everywhere. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Y'all, did you know you can get 5 years in prison in Brazil just for being racist? I didn't know. I just learned that today. I saw this story on my timeline and I decided to go down the rabbit hole. So this is Agustina Paez, and she is an Argentinian lawyer. See, what happened, she was arguing with some employees about a bill and decided to do this. Then this happened. And now she sounds like this.
Soy Agustina Páez, es acusada de injuria racial en Brasil. En este momento recibo la notificación que hay una orden de prisión preventiva para mí por peligro de fuga, siendo que tengo una tobillera electrónica puesta y que estoy a disposición de la justicia desde el día 1. Se están vulnerando todos mis derechos. Estoy desesperada, estoy muerta de miedo y hago este video para que se haga eco de la situación.
She has been released, but she has to wear an ankle monitor, and she must now wait for the Brazilian judiciary to set a date for her trial. She could be sentenced up to 5 years in jail if found guilty. Oh, was it worth it? Was it worth it? The case is at the center of a growing legal conversation that is making headlines in Argentina and Brazil. With some argue that jail time is too harsh a punishment for a racist offense, others have pointed out that it's the responsibility of Argentinian citizens abroad to know the law. In this case, Brazil's strict anti-racism legislation. The incident took place on January 14th, according to the complaint filed by the employees. She also used derogatory language, as well as the gestures that we just saw in the previous video. Under the Brazilian law, racism and racial insults are treated as serious criminal offenses. See, she's from Argentina, and the people in Argentina, boy, they could be motherfucking racist as hell. And they received no punishment. And then she decided to take her funky ass all the way to Brazil thinking she could do the same shit. Oops. Oops. Oh my God. Was calling the employees monkeys worth it? I don't think so. And she's a lawyer too. Fucking that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But I didn't know. I didn't know you can go to jail for 5 years in Brazil for that. Learn something new each day. Now imagine if they did that in this country. All them jail cells would be full. It's wild.
Rio de Janeiro has a racism problem, a classism problem. My entire page is about going to visit and being Brazilian, and I wouldn't be 100% honest if I wasn't honest about the issues that real people face over there. To be honest, I don't know how to talk about it because it's a sensitive topic and a lot of people will die on a hill saying that it doesn't exist, but it really does. And the kind of racism that happens over there, it's not blatant racism. It's very subtle. It's stares, it's lack of equal treatment, it's maybe somebody not offering service because of how you look like, and it's a problem. I've seen people mistreating my mom, who's a dark-skinned woman, and it's like subtle. So for example, when we go to Brazil, we always stay at the nicest hotels, not because we're rich or anything, it's just a lot more affordable over there. And there was one time where we knew where our room was, we knew where we were going, so we went from the lobby straight to the elevators. And one of the workers almost chased us down and asked, "Hey, can I help you?" As if we didn't belong. Another instance was when I was out with her at a really nice high-end bar, a high-end club, and no one interacted with us. And it's the opposite of that warm Brazilian hospitality that everyone talks about, and I honestly think it's because of the color of her skin. I don't experience it as much because I'm like a little lighter, and colorism in Rio de Janeiro is thriving, which is sad. My brother has been also chased down in stores, and it's unexplainable, and I don't get it, and I wish it didn't exist. But I'm not trying to discourage anyone from visiting. If you look at my page, I want everyone to go visit Rio de Janeiro. My point is, you should go, which is hard to say. Because the truth is, they don't treat tourists in the same way. And it's really sad to say that they treat their own people like that. But if they know that you're a tourist, if you make it obvious that you're a tourist, they're going to treat you like a king. And that is just the truth.
Brazil does not play about racism. I'm just seeing this story about Agustina Baez, a woman from Argentina. She went to Brazil and she's on vacation in Brazil. She had a dispute over a food bill, right? And so she started making monkey gestures and racial slurs to the employees. They reported her. And guess what? She could face 5 years in a Brazilian prison. Baby, I learn something new every day. I learned so I was like, wow. Baby, they don't play over there. Go over there trying to be funny, trying to be racist over there in Brazil. See what's gonna happen to you. Say something slick to somebody. And this lady was filmed doing like a monkey gesture. You know what I mean? You have to see it. But baby, I know I'm late, but baby, I'm still getting the information.
Did y'all know that racism was a crime in Brazil? Like a serious crime, like you might get up to 5 years in prison? Baby, what Miss Daffy say? I'm on the way there. Baby, send me to Brazil, okay? Now, I don't normally talk about crimes in other countries and other stuff like that because it'd be a lot. We already have enough going on here. But this piqued my interest, so I had to bring it to you. Agustina Paez, I think that's how you say her name. If it's wrong, please forgive me. She was in Brazil on vacation. Now, she is from Argentina, but she was in Brazil, and she was in Brazil on January the 14th. Now, okay, she was at a restaurant, and there was a dispute with the bill. Instead of just having them fix the bill and then going about her merry way, when she let them know about the dispute about the bill, they said that she made some racist remarks like calling people monkeys, monkey sounds, things of that sort. She made them feel very uncomfortable, and it was very obvious to them that it was racism, okay? It was to them. It was very obvious. So, them being of Brazil, they knew that, ma'am, that's a crime. So they called the police and let the police know, and the police come. Now, under normal circumstances in Brazil, they don't give you no bond, and you got to wait until they make a decision on if you're guilty or not guilty, and then the punishment for the crime is up to 5 years in prison for racism because they have a zero tolerance policy, okay? Again, I'm on the way there. A zero tolerance policy. Her attorney did a habeas corpus and they let her out on an ankle monitor and they was going to let her wait until trial. Again, that's not normal, but the attorney that she got a good legal team and she's an attorney herself, I do believe. But her attorney was doing some attorneying, okay? And we know how I love to see an attorney, honey. And they had got her out, but they decided to reverse that on Thursday. So they didn't put her back in and said, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. It has caused a complete ruckus in Brazil and in Argentina because people in Brazil is like, you need to know the law of the land when you in the land, okay? You need to know what's going down here in Brazil when you come to Brazil. And people in Argentina are like, but y'all got to know we don't do that over where we at. And I agree with them. Whatever the law of the land is, you need to know that law when you get to their doggone land. Okay. But, yeah, she's facing up to 5 years in prison. When all she had to do was just say, fix my doggone bill. They fix it and she going about her merry way. But instead of that, she decided to take below the belt and they said, we know where hell is, and made that phone call to the authorities. But yeah, I might be on the way to Brazil. Somebody buy me a plane ticket so I can go see what they got going on. I like that. Zero tolerance.
To all the black gringos that comes to Brazil, I was wondering how racism is back home with you guys because I'm Brazilian and I'm black and Brazil is racist as fuck. Oh, it isn't. Oh, Brazil is not that racist. It is because I'm black and I live here. I was born here, raised here, and it is racist as fuck for you guys to come here and say that, oh, this place is amazing for black people. And I was wondering how racist your place back home must be because I was like, if it's worse than here, man, I don't want to go there.
Brazil is an extremely racist country. What you're describing is Black Americans coming to Brazil and benefiting from being American. So when we are abroad, we benefit from having an American accent, American passport, and the American dollar. So our view of what actual racism is in a country like Brazil, while we can see it exists, it's very skewed because we will never be treated like a black Brazilian in Brazil because of where we're staying, what we're spending money on, and they want our money. Racism is horrible in America, but I think it's a thing where you understand the social cues, the language, and the cultural things that would tell you what racism is or what a macro or microaggression is. In Brazil, when I lived there I lived there for 6 months. I was in Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Belém, and Manaus. But my time in Rio de Janeiro was the most interesting one because that was the whitest place I lived, where it had white people, mixed people, and black people. And I stayed in a place called Leblon, which was very white, more of an upper middle class neighborhood. And I got looks every day leaving the apartment I was in. I was doing a study abroad, so I had school, but I befriended this girl and I told her, hey, like, I want to go to where you hang out. I want to go to where you and your friends go. I also didn't want to be the American to like go toward the favelas. That's not what I was doing, but I went to where they partied and I had so much fun and I felt so much more at home with black Brazilians. And we had a conversation around where I was living and they were like, yeah, we don't go there. Why would I ever go there? And it made me realize I was living in the equivalent of the Upper East Side in New York City. And I would never live in the Upper East Side in New York City. I think America and Brazil have a unique experience because two countries that have so many black people, but they are the black people that stayed in the country of their oppressor in a way where we're the minorities in both countries. And the majority of those countries are white. I think what you're describing is something that Brazilians experience here. Because if you're Brazilian with a Brazilian accent and you're exotic in America, even though you'll still be black, right? The same way I was still black in Brazil and they didn't know I wasn't Brazilian until I opened my mouth and I spoke English. Racism sucks. I mean, racism exists around the world and we all know this as black people. But I think Americans sometimes don't realize that we benefit from being American abroad, especially in other black places in the Caribbean and Latin America.
Honestly, this is why travel is dangerous for people who have never been humbled. The world is not your fantasy. Every country has its own laws, its own pride, its own dignity, especially places like Brazil. I've been away dealing with my health, but I'm back now, stronger and clearer, and we are going to have some real conversation on this channel because some people don't need a vacation, they need perspective. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.